say hi to the camera, Jacob.
So what are we here for? What are we here for?
Hashtag is Bersih 4. You can also put Bersih Melbourne if you like. Bersih 4.
For my civil rights, all of you, 2,000 of you, professional refugees. The doctors, accountants, engineers, we feel like refugees. Bersih was never about changing the government or toppling the government. It was never about toppling the government, and it still isn't. Bersih is about emboldening you and I. And what are we doing now? We are out here. 20 years ago, would you have done this? So how dare they say Bersih has not achieved anything? It becomes a moral responsibility to speak up against injustice. It is a moral responsibility. And that's why, my friends, we all gathered here today. That's why you are gathered here today.
Think about this. The Prime Minister doubling up as the Finance Minister. What does that show you? It's like making the Dracula in charge of the blood bank. It's like the vampire is in charge of blood bank. Definitely tidak bersih. Together we can make a difference.
Sue Bolton, Melbourne City Councillor, to come and tell us a few things.
An attack on democracy and injustice in any country is an attack on democracy and injustice for everyone in the world. repressive and reactionary government and corrupt government learns from other reactionary and corrupt governments. They support each other. And that means that the Malaysian government gives courage and confidence to other governments that are doing similar things to the Malaysian government. And I remember Bersih 1. And I remember the Malaysian government using all sorts of tricks to try and stop people mobilising for Bersih 1. They arrested lots of people. They tried to use the Internal Security Act. And they said that the protest wouldn't go ahead. But guess what? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands came out. The government was forced to allow the protest to go ahead. What that shows is Malaysian people, the ordinary people of Malaysia that aren't corrupt, that don't have an interest in the corrupt system, are capable of taking on the government. And the fact that we're at Bersih 4 shouldn't be a reason to despair, because usually the struggle for justice and democracy doesn't win just with one protest. You usually have to keep mobilising, keep bringing people together, keep people's morale up for change, because usually what happens is you end up with lots of little victories, and you might not win every time. You end up with lots of little victories and some setbacks, but all of those little victories are the ones that help you win the big victory and overturn the system. You have to change the system that allows the corruption. And then the ruling powers use every trick in the book to demoralise people. They they use their money, they bribe, they use the media, they use the police to intimidate people, and then they try and convince people that it's impossible to achieve change. They try and divide up racial groups, ethnic groups, religious groups. We have to have maximum unity. We have to have a multiracial struggle, women and men, young and old, everybody united. And then it is absolutely possible to win. Victory to Bersih! Victory to Bersih! Victory to Bersih!
For standing up for our brothers and sisters back home. You guys rock.
I want to tell you a little something about a couple of issues that are happening which I think all Malaysians should know. Now, in Sabah, as you all know, there are many rural areas which are very underdeveloped. We have our brothers and sisters who don't have direct access to
CRM, 加油! We have Senator Janet Rice from the Australian Greens Party.
Thank you. Yes, I'll shout. That's worth shouting. So thank you all for being here. I am so proud and pleased to be here, standing with you in solidarity with people in Malaysia. I'm told that there are hundreds of thousands of people rallying in Malaysia today. It's a wonderful thing to be part of. Because the demands of the Bersih movement are pretty straightforward. Clean elections, clean government, strengthening parliamentary democracy, and saving the economy. These are all things that to me as an Australian, You don't have freedom of assembly. You don't have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of association in Malaysia is awful. It's a tragedy and it's oppression of people. It is this attacks on human rights and the corruption in Malaysian politics and in Malaysia at the moment that is holding Malaysia back. It's that corruption that needs to be overcome so that Malaysia can move forward. As a Green Senator, I will be standing with you. The Greens will be standing with you. Standing up for human rights, for justice and democracy. So I say keep up the fight and we will be there with you every step of the way. Thank you.
Of us here today.
Okay, I'd like to make it clear that one of the tools that the government has and is not shy to use is basically telling the public that Bersih is about toppling the government. It is against democratic principles. We are not against democratic principles. We are all for strengthening parliamentary democracy.
Bersih is not toppling the government. Bersih is for strengthening democracy.
All right, what are our demands? Clean elections.
Clean action.
Repeat after me. Clean elections. Clean elections. Clean elections. Clean elections. Clean elections. Clean government. 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 Strengthening parliamentary democracy. Strengthening parliamentary democracy. Save our economy. Save our economy. Save our economy. Save our economy. Bantah GST. 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 We are not for bringing down an elected government. I cannot make that any clearer. We will not topple a government. I cannot make that any clearer. We empower the voters to do whatever the hell they want to do. And we back away. If they choose to vote anyone out, that's their call. I'm not going to stand here demanding that an elected representative be taken away. We are not for that. I don't know about your personal opinion, but we as an organization are not for that.
Bangkit! 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 Rakyat Malaysia! Rakyat Malaysia! Hancur! 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 Kezaliman! Kezaliman! Hapus! 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 Penindasan! Penindasan! Bangkit! 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 Mahasiswa! Mahasiswa! Bangkit! 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 Rakyat Malaysia! Rakyat Malaysia! Hancur! 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 Kezaliman! Kezaliman! Hapus! 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 Penindasan! Penindasan! Hancur! 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 Kezaliman! Kezaliman!
Our voting patterns are not being respected. That is committed to help you to reform this system. Be an objector. Be an objector and counter-propose every redelineation, redrawing of the boundary in Malaysia. It's a tough fight. I went through that tough fight. But we have to win that battle because if they draw the boundary...
Get out! That's what we've all been told. But when I came here, I became involved in activism.
Kami lebih dari kontrak beasiswa yang diberikan. Kami lebih daripada orang-orang yang cakap jangan turut serta. Kami lebih daripada ancaman yang mereka telah tentukan kepada kita. Jangan kita tunduk kepada perintah mereka. Kita lebih dari mereka untuk kita tarik balik demokrasi kita. Sebab kalau hak kita untuk berhimpun pun salah, apatah lagi hak-hak lain. Mungkin satu hari nanti mereka akan tarik juga. Tarik hak menguji mungkin, tarik hak berkata. Ini cuma satu langkah saja. Jadi kita hentikan sekarang. Hentikan dari sini. Kita ada tindakan di sini. Sama-sama kita bangkit. Mahasiswa bangkit. Bangkit, bangkit. Mahasiswa. Mahasiswa. Hidup. Hidup, hidup. Mahasiswa. Mahasiswa. Bangkit, bangkit. Bangkit, bangkit. Mahasiswa. Mahasiswa. Hancur, hancur. Hancur, hancur. Kezaliman. Kezaliman. Hapus, hapus. Hapus, hapus. Penindasan. Penindasan. Hapus, hapus. Hapus, hapus. Kezaliman. Kezaliman.
Bersih, 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 bersih. I've been advised by venue management even. There are 5,000 of us here! 5,000! And the people here, and the people behind us, and the people up there, and the people who are spilling onto the road. 5,000! Even with the rings! Bersih! 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 And you can be proud to say you were part of changing the situation Malaysia is in at the moment. You are part of the change. We can take pride in saying that. Daulat Puanku. Daulat Puanku. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to bring all of you together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.